One other thing I need to say is this family came as part of research that we're doing at the ranch. We're developing what is called the best case scenarios that we're submitting to the government. These best case scenarios so that we can obtain resources to do studies that we can then have published, that we can then get out into the mainstream. And a lot of these families that come, they don't have the resources. We have a tremendous amount of demand. People are hearing about this opportunity for their family to be able to be insulin free. And so the word's gotten out. And we, on a daily basis, we receive letters and pictures of children. In fact, I got this the other day. This is a picture of a 4-year-old. And he's been diagnosed with diabetes, and the family is devastated. And they want to know if they can come to the ranch. They don't have the resources to be able to pay for the treatments. But Shelley and I have been sponsoring families and to come to the ranch for treatment, to be part of this NIH study, the National Institute of Health study for best case studies. We're also soliciting, because we are a nonprofit organization, we're soliciting donations, which are tax deductible, that will go directly to the children for their condition so that we can substantiate even further and get this message out and help more of the children with this devastating illness. Many of you may not know that diabetes is the fastest growing illness in the world in children today. And it is an epidemic.
Why is that? Why is it at a peak right now?
It's at a peak because fast food, acidic foods, sugary foods are at a peak. We're exporting our lifestyle and diet around the world, and this is devastating the children. They're growing up in a world of food that has been radiated, that has been pasteurized, that has been, the animals, if it's involved with, let's say, dairy products, have received antibiotics to steroids. We just didn't have that in our food supply. And then, of course, our water is tainted. So our water is filled with things like Prozac and Zoloft and other types of hormones.
You can't beat a good glass of Prozac. You really can't.
You know, and it just, you know, the water problem is also at very serious levels too as well. So it's an epidemic. And we do have a program for those who have the means to help us, help the children for this very worthy cause. This family needs to stay longer. They need probably another few more weeks, and we're soliciting resources for that too as well. So we're happy for anyone who can help or wants to get involved with their time, their energies. Maybe it's not money, maybe it's your time. Any way that you can contribute. Maybe you know people that have resources, time or financial resources, that can help us get this word out. I think it's important. Not only is this impacting in a positive way diabetes, but autism, attention deficit, hyperactivity. We're having success in reversing autism.
Which is kind of mind-boggling that your diet, your food intake, because we hear diseases and we think it comes in from God knows where. Do you know what I mean? But you're saying that it's our own bodies and what we're putting in it.
Well, disease is a consequence of choice. And for children, they aren't necessarily making the choices. It's the parents that are making the choices. And so they're a product of their parents, and the parents are a product of their parents.
Exactly.
And so we've got many generations of diet and lifestyle that has gone in a direction that's creating now epidemics in a variety of different conditions. And we see epidemics in breast cancer and prostate cancer. It's across the board, it's a huge problem. But I've always said, you don't get sick, you have to do sick.
You have to do it.
Disease is not something you catch, it's something that you do. And there's no secret to diabetes. I mean, if you look at the Indians, the Pima Indians down in Arizona, I mean, these people, their cultures were agriculture. They would live off the land. Now they're being subsidized by our government, bread and meats, and over 2/3 of that Indian, that culture, has diabetes. 2 out of 3 are diabetic. It's the highest level of diabetes anywhere, and it's because of all the meat they're eating. It's because of all the sugar, and sugar is actually secondary to diabetes. It's the animal proteins that are so devastating to the small intestine. I can't think of any good reason, and I want to be really strong about this. There is no good reason to ever eat animal flesh, unless you want to be sick.
Well, let's ask the question of the audience. How many people here, first of all, let's give a nice round of applause to our wonderful
Thank you.
family here. Thank you for visiting with us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And I just want to add that these
Yeah.
children exercise with us every morning for an hour. So the program not only involves food and drink, but lifestyle changes in the way of exercise and moving the lymphatic system. So it's something that we all have to get the children back to.
At the ranch, they have a class from 8 to 9. What a great way to start your day.
Right.
So how many people, and there's no judgment about it, how many people are eating chicken or meat over here? Okay. So we'll just talk to this side over here. so because, and that it might feel like, how could I possibly give that up? Now the big question is, when you talk about alkalarian way of living or vegan or vegetarian, people, the first thing they say is, where do you get your protein? And then that's the first thing they ask. And where do you get your protein? And you're saying that with leafy vegetables, because Shelley is an amazing, amazing chef. You're going to have a chance to taste some of her wonderful nibbles in a little bit. But you've been doing this for 25 years.
A long time. And that is a myth out there, that where are you getting your calcium, where are you getting your protein? Very simply, if you skip the cow, where does she get her protein and her calcium? From grazing on grasses, right? Our program is just kind of skipping Bessie the cow and taking you straight to the beautiful green pastures that hold your health right there in the greens. And so everything that I'm making for you today, I'm going to have you taste a pate, a very concentrated form of food that will give you all your healthy fats, enough protein, whole seeds and grains, no starchy carbs or sugars at all. And then I'm also going to give you a shake, like we've talked about, the same type of shake that these children have every morning. And you can see that these things can replace your fruit smoothies and your steak and eggs and your bacon and biscuits and those types of things for breakfast. And you won't have those 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon drops with the blood sugar or drops with the energy that you have. You notice we've all learned and been accustomed to the coffee break. And we usually need what? One of those mid-morning and one of those mid-afternoon just to get through the day. When you go on this program, you don't need that anymore, because you have a steady electronic fed body all throughout the day with electrons that keep you. I mean, I've seen it in you. Paul going on the program, and Paul had a period where he kind of sloughed off some acidic residue from his
We
old
should clarify
eating
that
habits.
for anybody who's Jewish. We're talking Hasidic, not Hasidic.
Right,
Nothing
Hasidic,
against Hasidic. If you have curls here, it's okay.
Right. But Paul has actually cleared up a cough, a nagging cough, and some phlegm that was coming up, and it took a while, and he stayed with it. That's the thing about it. And once he got, it's kind of like backing your car out of the driveway and back over a hill. Now he's running clean and clear. But he had to back up and back over that hill of his previous food and lifestyle choices, and now he looks fabulous. He is Mr. Health.
I'm not begging for applause.
He is Mr. Health.
June 24th, I was at a Braveheart party, and I felt excruciating pain, like somebody was putting a knife in my shoulder blade. And that related to what was going on in here. And fortunately, it was a gift, because I was able to enter this program because this was happening. And because you would think, I got to go to a back doctor,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. But what's going on here comes out in different areas of the body.
Right. The brain-bowel connection is what Robert calls it. And we have to realize that our literal root system, we have a root system. We wouldn't pour chocolate milk down our house plant right, and expect those roots to absorb the chocolate milk and grow a beautiful plant. We can't expect that kind of feeding for us or for our children, or we have a sick plant. It's a real simple concept. You have roots. Feed those roots what they need, and you grow a beautiful plant.
Now, can we divulge what's in that pate?
Yes, yes. In
Because I
fact,
was
we
there
can-
yesterday. You're in my place making it.
Yeah.
And it was edamame.
Yes, edamame pate. Today you'll have with coconut meat, young Thai coconut meat, which is high in phosphorus, calcium, potassium, magnesium, all of the alkalinizing buffers. So I know that I'm feeding your bones and your skin and your teeth with this pate. You'll notice that it's quite hearty, quite meaty. And we'll just pass these trays out right now and let you guys start munching and crunching and see how you like it.